Hello, this is my History 101 capstone presentation. So I have gender roles in ancient Greece, and gender roles were shaped by cultural and political and philosophical beliefs that positioned men in public and powerful roles and confined women to the private sphere. These roles were framed through myths, religion, and the teaching of philosophers like Aristotle and Plato. Although women were excluded from the public or the political life and denied basic rights, especially in places like Athens, they still played essential roles in maintaining cultural, religious, and social structures. Alright, I have my sub-arguments. First one is social hierarchy. The most respected group was I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, the Gun Gamete, aka the wives. Despite their lack of formal education, their status as a married woman granted them the highest regard. Their main responsibilities were reproducing and managing the household. These roles were considered essential to functioning of society. And then the next were the Palike, or the mistresses. They provided sexual companionship to the men in exchange for housing and financial support. While they had some degree of stability, they lacked social respect. The social respect afforded to the wives. At the bottom of the hierarchy, we have the Hereta. They were often highly educated women and intellectually engaged, yet they were at the complete bottom of the totem pole. This categorization reflects the limited and contradictory ways that women could gain recognition in the ancient Greece. Oh, and then I have religious roles were gendered. Women's religious responsibilities were centered around the household and family life, often involving personal and religious rituals. For example, they would visit the tombs of deceased loved ones and bring them offerings and perform acts such as tying sashes around their graves. These rituals were documented on the white ground. It's like the Lycithal. These private forms of worship were deeply significant and helped maintain a social and family bonds. Despite being less visible, women's participation in religious practices was also meaningful and a big part of Greeks' spiritual life. Okay, next I have domestic roles in education. Within the home, women played vital but unappreciated roles that were extended beyond childbearing. From young age, girls were raised and trained in weaving, spinning, and music, while boys were educated intellectually and militarily. The girls were raised also in a gynecologio, or the woman's house, the woman's headquarters of the house, where they learned, again, domestic tasks like weaving, spinning, and music. The whole point of little girls' education was to prepare them for a family life, not an intellectual development, reinforcing the idea that women values lie in her domestic contribution. I have Spartan woman as an expectation. Spartan women enjoyed greater economic freedom as they were permitted to inherit and manage property, which allowed them wealth and influence. They played active roles in reinforcing the state's military values, particularly as mothers raising future soldiers, unlike the Athens women who were largely confined to domestic spaces. Spartan women had visibly in public affairs and unique level of independence. This contrasts to how Athens women were treated in ancient Greece. And then lastly, for my sub-arguments, I have representation in mythology and cultural impact. Identities like Athena, who embodied wisdom and strategy, and was deeply influenced by shaping civic identity and cultural values. Athena supported heroes like Odysseus and highlights a I forgot my thought. Okay. But similarly, lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, figures. I have cultural models of female power and influence as a symbolic space for admiration of women, complimentary on gender roles, intelligence, and social constraints. And then, finally, for my conclusion, I have gender roles in ancient Greece were rooted in cultural, political, and philosophical beliefs that men were in public roles and women were in domesticated one. Despite these limitations, women contributed significantly to household, religion, and cultural life. While many city-states restricted women's freedom, Sparta provided more opportunities with both mythological and historical women, changing traditional norms, revealing the complexity and lasting influence of a woman in Greek society. And then my final thoughts. I obtained most of my sources from Google, pretty much all of them, I believe, because, again, ProQuest was not really the best for me, so all of my Google ones, they did give me good, though. And then my personal takeaways, I found it's kind of weird that Sparta women had more freedom than any other woman, because it was, they were also part of ancient Greek, though, so I don't understand how because they were all together, maybe? I don't know. I didn't understand that, so that kind of interested me a lot. And then my favorite part was probably right now, because now I'm all done with dual enrollment. So thank you for watching.